Hey, good morning traders. Alright, what we're going to do today is run through our indexes as per usual on these updates. Then we'll go over to our crypto leaders very quickly. And then I just want to run through some of the most interesting altcoins, and we'll discuss whether or not it's worth investing. Any of these that are more oversold. Of course, Bitcoin is still above that ascending trend line that I reference so frequently in these updates, which to me means it's still bullish. We'll discuss that in a few minutes. Right now, let's start with our dollar index and see what we're doing. All right, so we are breaking below this trend line. What does that mean? Not really anything until we can confirm price movement below this trend line with another open and close on the daily. All right, so that's what I want to see. That's what I'm looking for tomorrow. Another candle below that trend line, and then we can confirm that this price action is bearish and will continue to be bearish. All right, the VIX on the other hand has negative correlation, so we're spiking a bit. All right, found support here on the 50-day, and it currently is ascending. So this is a difference from what we've seen more recently. In the past, we've seen, or in the more recent weeks, we've seen the dollar go up while the VIX is going up. And if the dollar and the VIX are both in correlation, going the same way, dollar going up, VIX going up, typically what we'll see is the index is going down. If the dollar is losing strength and the VIX is descending, in other words, fear is going down, we'll see a positive reaction in the indexes, which spills over into our crypto space. All right, but in this case, we see the dollar descending in strength. All right, it's getting bearish, losing strength, while fear is somewhat spiking. All right, so that difference should equate to a more neutral price action in the markets. Of course, VIX would be the priority indicator at this point until the dollar really confirms that drop. So I would say today our indexes would be slightly bearish. Let's jump over and we will see that in fact they are. All right, so we've hit our heads here on the 50-day for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which makes sense why we have come down. We've come back down to the 20-day. All right. S&P, all right, we dropped below the 20-day, and now that is acting as resistance. All right, Nasdaq, bearish also, hit our heads yesterday on the 20-day, and now have come down more today. And QQQ, kind of the same story everywhere we go. Gap down, and got ourselves a shooting star here. Alright, candle pattern. Bitcoin dominance, still kind of forming this, what I think is going to be bull flag. Will keep us up into this territory here, which may act as resistance, or we break through and come all the way up here. Alright, that's something we're keeping our eyes on. Total index is kind of the same as Bitcoin, still above this ascending trend line. Till we break below it, I'm not really turning bearish. If we break below it, I will have to make some decisions. Ethereum looks like it's forming a bear flag, but we won't know that until this could be a double bottom here, guys. So, and that's the same thing with all the charts. But for now, I'm going to continue calling it a bear flag until the bulls prove otherwise. So here we are at the Bitcoin chart. And I keep referencing this black ascending trend line. For me, that is very important. That is my line in the sand. And until the bears actually take us below this area and come into this territory, what I need to see is another candle open, close below that. Another one. I like to see 3 candles. We may not have time to form 3 candles before I have to get out. Depends on what the price action looks like here. If we're selling rapidly, you know, I might only have to go with the 2 candles on Bitcoin. The reason why I like to say 3, and you guys have, many of you who watch these, heard me say this before, Bitcoin or crypto never closes. So I like to have lots of confirmation on the charts here. Positive sign with Bitcoin is we are also above this descending trend line on our RSI. So not only can we use this as a trampoline, we can use this as a trampoline, and we are getting squeezed right now, guys. We are getting squeezed into the very tip of this triangle, and we'll see what happens. But that could be very positive because we are on the top of this RSI, on the top of this trend line. And let's see, what's the day today? Thursday? I lose track of these days. Yeah, Thursday. So we have tomorrow. One more day here, we could get squeezed way down here, almost no price action. Then who knows, maybe the weekend we explode upwards. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just pointing out to you what I'm seeing on the charts here. And to me, I'm still positive with crypto overall, as long as we stay above this trend line. I'll be watching this closely, and I'll update you if there are any changes. So you guys keep track of these videos, and I'll keep you in the loop. Alright, so I wanted to jump over to, this is what I call my purple list. I just tagged some of the my favorite altcoins in terms of setup, oversold prices, trend lines, patterns, things, indicators that show me that there could be some big movement on these coins. I've got 39 of them in this list. I don't know how much time we'll have, but I thought I'd sort by the most oversold at this point, and we'll just go run down real quickly. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Alright, so let's start with ALGD. Alright, I put off an indicator here. Let me get rid of this volume because we are sold so low, it comes into and mixes in with the candles. Alright, I put out an indicator 3 days ago. I said if I was in this trade, I would sell right here. Why did I say that? Those of you who follow me know, right? Those of you who follow me know. And we broke out and we went up here, so you could have stayed in the trade, but then you would have to know where to sell, and I didn't have any levels drawn. Of course, there is a level right there. I might as well put it on the chart since we're talking about it. And so those of you who have these levels mapped out, you may have excuse me, I've got a bad cough and I don't know why. It's been bothering me for the last couple weeks. Got to get it taken care of. You would have sold right here into resistance, but if I was in this trade, I said I would have sold right there. And the reason why, we had no confirmation that we were actually going to break above this trend line. Not at that point. Now you could have watched that closely on the 4 hour. Those of you who are more advanced traders could have sensed that we were going to break out of that trend line and proceed higher. But then, now this is just me, if I was in this trade at that point, I would have sold at the 50-day for sure. We ended up breaking above the 50-day on ALG and going all the way to this resistance, where I would have had mapped out, but I would be out of that trade. To be honest with you, if I was in this trade, I would never have made it to that level. Maybe some of you did. And the reason why I said we sell here is no confirmation of the breakout, but once we got confirmation, again, I would have sold here. Why? Because we are doing the thing that I always talk about. We break out of these trend lines and we like to come back down, kiss significant resistance or support, depending on the side you're on. One more goodbye before proceeding upwards. So this is still positive for ALG. If you're holding this, fine, just keep holding it. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's what I would do at this point if I was holding this far. We are going to probably come down, kiss this trend line. Who knows how long we'll sit on it or slide down it before we go back up. And so, you had your chance to sell a couple times, and if you didn't do that yet, it's up to you what you want to do. Hold it. Alright, I'm spending too much time on one coin here. Anybody know what's going on with Brain Trust? It kept weaseling down here. We were down here. I had this one on my list way down here at $2.06, and it's doubled like within the last week. And then now it's coming down. Looks like it's going to touch this 50-day. So I haven't read news on it, but there must be something going on behind the scenes. Anyways, you hit that 50-day, that looks like a good buy price there for brain trust. $3.43-ish. Jasmy, I always talk about Jasmy, right? Said we were coming down to the 3.9 cents, and look where we are. We're at 3.9 cents. It's a risky trade, guys. The positive side is RSI is in way oversold territory, but we still don't know what old Bitcoin is going to do. And everything, I'm telling you, that is the primary indicator in the market right now. So we need to keep our eye on Bitcoin. If it traverses below that black ascending trend line, then trouble. All right, so I don't want to get into risky trades at this point. I was considering Jasmy because I had one that pumped 13 to 20%, and I could sell that position, go into Jasmy, which is down almost 5. That difference is 25%. But to me, Jasmy is a riskier venture than the other one that I'm in. So for that reason, I'm hesitant to make that transition. We'll see if I do or not. Sometimes I'm spontaneous and just last second I'll make a call. Alright, this is cool too. Broke out the side of the trend line, coming back down to kiss that significant resistance. Now, there's no telling how far you'll slide down this. We are at support right here. So it would take some bearish price action / news to take us below that. Looks like there is a area of confluence right there. We've got support as well as kissing the top side of previous resistance, which is cool to see because that's a good setup right there. All right, ICP. I don't like where it's at under this support. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker here. We're at 12 minutes. Solana is always a good one. This could be a bear flag. Again, everything hinging on Bitcoin at this point, so I'm not going to necessarily get super positive on any of these. Graph is on solid support here. Engine in between here, I would, if it was me, I'd wait for us to come back down to this support at 151. Dot, kind of doing sideways / bear flag, who knows. Again, everything's the same. We don't really know. We gotta wait to see what Bitcoin does. So we're in a holding pattern right now, everywhere. AMP was really, look at that, AMP is really broke out of this trend line, still coming down. It is really just sell hard on these altcoins. Alright, BCH coming down to our support at 264. Track, I'm going to hit the top side of that trend line. That's also a good setup, but again, these are riskier, small cap altcoins. I don't know. Not something I'm super excited to get into at this point. I'm trying to buy altcoins that I feel I can hold through this as well, in case Bitcoin decides to die below that ascending trend line and continue further down. I want to be able to hold through this if I have to. Alright, I don't want to position myself in these smaller cap coins that could just go away during a big bear market, which I don't think we've hit yet. But when we do, many of these coins that you see will probably disappear. Alright. So anyways, they're all kind of looking the same. SHIB is on major support here. If you like the SHIB buy, I don't. But if you do, you're right on the line. If Bitcoin decides to take a tumble, again, all these altcoins, they're kind of on a line. And what we're looking at here, again, is just Bitcoin. I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's all about the Bitcoin. Drop below this black line, sell, sell, sell. Look out below. we are going all the way down to at least 31,000. If we can't, if the bears can't conquer that level, then we might go back up. But then below that is 20 to 24,000. All right, that's all I'm going to do today. And I guess I'll show you guys something. I've been messing around with OBS. I hate doing video editing, so in the future I don't want to do any video editing. I like doing everything streaming on the fly. So I've got these transition phases. If I need to go to a different view or just emphasize something, I can jump over here. Of course, I got my like, subscribe, hit that bell notification thing, which I don't do. I'll put it up there as a reminder. If you guys find the content useful, you want to get notifications such as what I do with Jasmy, then you know what to do. I got one more here. So, ta-da! And all free. This is open source software that I'm using. These are old iPhones that I'm using, and everything is completely free. I'm not talking at the camera. All right, I got to get used to all these camera shifts. Back here to this. Now I'm talking at the camera. All right. So, anyways, I love open source software. I love making free things useful and not having to pay exorbitant costs for all these different. Isn't that cool though? It's all on the fly. All right. Talk to you later, guys.